Okay, so welcome back to some more Monster Energy Supercross, the official video game. We are back with some more Does Your Track Suck? You guys seem to be enjoying this series more than anything else on the channel, so I'll try to always have at least like one video of this per week, maybe two, we'll see, but for sure one. And I like changing things up, so let's do like 2 tracks suggested from you guys, because there's actually quite a few. If I go back through all the videos, there's quite a few tracks, and then one random track because I think it's kind of fun just to go through and try and find a track that's made by some random person and go from there. So I'll try to find your tracks. The search system is really weird. I keep saying that. Try searching for your own track. If it comes up for you, then put it in the comments. If it doesn't come up for you, maybe try validating it again and uploading it to the game or whatever, because a lot of them just don't work. Now, I did get some tips from you guys that I'm going to try this time, so I'm hoping that works and I can find each track that I go through, because a lot of tracks, if you don't see your track in the video, it's probably because I just couldn't, it didn't bring it up in the search, you know what I mean? So we're going to start off with one of your tracks and jump into this. Okay, so here we have Copyright Strike. This is the first track we're going to take a look at, suggested by Jesse Mulock. I might be saying that wrong, but I hope it's correct. If I'm saying it wrong, please correct me, but I believe it's Mulock. This section's awesome. Kind of struggle here, but you can see what you're supposed to do. I love the sections where you're just stepping onto the tables like that. I think that's one of the tougher ones to get, and it's so much fun. I love it. Now, I did play around on the track a little bit before the video and tried to find a good bike setting, because I'm struggling here, man. This is a tough track. I've never gotten over that double. Here's a quad. We get the quad? Yeah, we got the quad. And then a triple here. All right, we got the triple. Or at least we got the triple in. The track is really tough. You're going to see a lot of casing from me because, one, I'm not very good. Like, I can straight up tell you that I've never claimed to be great at this game. I don't even know if I'm average. I want to say that I feel like I'm average, but I might not be. I might got to slow up for this. I kept jumping over this. I think I ran like 2 or 3 laps before doing this because I just wasn't happy with the bike setup I have. But I mean, I'm extremely average, so a track like this takes a guy like me a lot longer to catch on to than it might take other people. Maybe you can jump that whole thing. I'm not sure. If you can, let me know in the comments, but I'm not even gonna really attempt it. Alright, got that. I would like to get one good lap in. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. Maybe that's triple in? If that's a triple in, I don't think we're ever getting that. Triple this. Oh, I missed the preload. I think that would have been a triple too. Yeah, I think I'm missing the preload. A lot of the tracks that I've been playing lately don't really need any preload. You just kind of hit it and it's like whatever. See, like that wasn't supposed to be big whoops. We're not doing it right. But the track is really well done. I mean, from what I understand, I think Jesse has quite a few hours in the game and he's pretty good at it. So these tracks are going to be, leaning towards the more difficult ones, I think. Like that section is just, it's tough. I'm not 100% sure what to do there, but you can tell it's built well. You can tell. But I fully believe that this track, it really does check all the boxes of what in my opinion, a good track should be. So 209, I mean, it's definitely faster than that, but what I'm running is a 209. But it checks all the boxes of things that I think a good track should have, just in my opinion. I mean, again, ultimately is what matters is if it's fun to use, so that's all that really matters. I really want to clear this, but that's about the best that I've gotten over that, man. I cannot clear that. Oh yeah, we're getting this quad like a boss now. But this track, it's fun. Like that section, that quad double, when you hit that actually, it's fun. It feels really good. So you don't need a preload here. We got the triple this time. But like I was saying, I keep stopping, is it checks all the boxes of what a decent track, I think, or a good track should have in my opinion. It has the layout, it has the flow, but I think what it shines at is the difficulty. It has that level of difficulty with over 3,000 tracks in the game. A lot of the tracks are really easy or just straight up really bad or just average. A track like this has that level of difficulty that, for me at least, I want to keep coming back and playing it because it bothers me that I suck so bad and I can't get the timings down. It's not one of those tracks where I can just right away hop on it, do a lap, and then turn out a heater the next time around, you know what I mean? It takes some time to get used to it, and that's what this track definitely shines at. I wouldn't say there's anything extremely original. Oh, I missed the preload again, sorry about that. Definitely a triple out. It doesn't have like that one section that's just like, oh my gosh, I've never seen that before, but I realize having as many tracks as we have on PlayStation, that's not going to happen every time. See, I don't think that's supposed to be whoops like that, but that's what we're doing. It feels fast, so we're gonna do it that way. But it's just hard to do something original when you have that many. And so I think what matters more is the level of difficulty. I mean, obviously you got to have the flow, you got to have the layout, you got to have all that. But in the end, I think for me, what I like to really see is the originality. If someone can come up with something I've never seen, or just having this level of difficulty to where it's like, okay, after I'm done with the video, I'm probably going to come back in here and try and learn the track a little bit more. So track's a little bit long, so let's just stick to 2 laps. But Jesse, this is a sick track, dude. We're going to give it just a little bit. Just a little bit. I have 2 stars, actually. I'm not sure which one. Just a little bit because, I mean, it's really good. And from what I can tell, I mean, I didn't hit every section perfectly, and you can feel free to tell me exactly how you're supposed to hit this, but I encourage you guys to go download this. He's played the game a lot. He's can build tracks. He's actually got a lot of tracks that we'll probably have to check out some of his other ones later, even if it's not in the video, and see what else he's got going. But there's the first track, and let's hop on over into the second one. Okay, so here we have our second track called Sorry for This Race. Now, I clicked on this because it looks like it's going to be torture, but it looks extremely interesting. It's got like this really crazy layout. I mean, I tell you that I searched, the 2 most important things to me are originality, because there's thousands of tracks, and difficulty. And it looks like it's going to be difficult, but in like the annoying way where... Okay, so it looks like, okay, so we're going to have these S-turns going back and forth here to line us up, it looks like, for the over-unders. And we've seen these, like, tunnel sections. Where did we see this? We saw this in a custom, it was a suggestion. Maze? I think it was Maze. So we've seen something like this already. I wouldn't say that's original, but it's not the tunnels that I find original. It's the fact that everything, I mean, practically everything, is an over-under. And I think that's just, it's crazy how he laid this out. I'm not expecting it to be an extremely fun track, but I'm expecting it to be a track with a lot of character. And this track has character simply because, okay, so here, we're starting to pop back around. So can we send this to the, okay, so you can't really send it to the next one. And he's got like little jumps here. Maybe you can kind of get to the top and, oh, you can kind of hop over him actually. So there is a rhythm to some degree. I mean, there's probably a few different ways you could go through it. I don't know exactly what would be the fast way through it. Now it looks like he put like a little whoop over the front. Yeah, there's no way so this is the best you can really do, is just this, because that little whoop isn't going to let you jump to the top of these over-unders to get on top of them or anything. Yeah, we're going to give him some originality here. We're going to give him that and difficulty, because it looks like there's somewhat of a reason behind the madness. It looks like you could probably find some sort of rhythm through this, because on some of them he actually has a jump that you can actually huck yourself over one of these over-unders and get maybe the slightest bit of timing through it. Interesting. Here it looks like just offset whoop. So I'm going to looks like they're going to be offset. I'm just going to kind of go from one side to the other. Here you basically just have to single over the over-unders. And then here he's got to jump again. It was really easy to overjump it last time. I don't know if you can actually get all the way over. I'm using the low gear ratio transmission still, so I don't know if you could actually get over them, like jump all the way over, minus the first one. The first one's the bigger jump, and it lets you jump all the way over the over-under, but the other ones throughout that section, I don't think it was enough. And here we're back to the whoops, which don't really let you, I mean, I can't jump from one to the other, I don't think. I don't think that's possible. He put them far enough apart that you basically have to single your way through it. So he thought the track out. It's not like he just did this. He thought it out, which is quite interesting to me. Missed the preload, didn't get on top. But I mean, it is a little bit torture, but he did name it well. I mean, he let you know what you were in for. When I was looking at the picture, I was like, okay, this track is going to be brutal. I think you could actually hop off that. 309. Oh man, I don't know if it's worth doing a second lap. We already know what we're getting, but why not? It's just, I wish it would have been a little bit shorter so we could have got 2. I like spending about 5 minutes on each track, but the boxes that this track checks is original. It's got original written all over it because it's an interesting idea. It's not, I'm not going to say that I'm going to play on this track again because it's not exactly a fun track. I think it's extremely interesting. And maybe racing people on it would be more fun because everybody would be sucking. And maybe I encourage you to, well, not maybe, I encourage you to try this if you're on PlayStation to see what your lap time is and see if you can find a better way through it. Because it's so interesting. It has options. I thought at first it was just going to have these over-unders, but he actually has some jumps to try and figure out a weird way through it, even if it's just kind of exploiting the fact that you can turn everything into whoops. I'm curious if you can find a good way through this madness. It's so weird. It's like a... And I'm also curious, I guess, to see if you can jump all the way over one of these over-unders off of, like, this jump. Because from what I can see, it looks like the best I can do is just land on top. I mean, with these whoops, no way. I mean, you're not jumping over the top of that little whoop. It's just not possible. I keep leaning back. When you lean back too far on the over-unders, you loop. It's just the way it is. See, like, there's just no way. It just kind of gives you a little hop to kind of get you going, and then you can use the next whoop, I guess, as the landing. It's a brutal track. It's extremely brutal. Like this here, let's see. Over jump. And then we can jump on top, but I don't think I can really hop to that next one. No, I think I missed the preload, but I don't think you can even do that. Interesting. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what you guys can do on this. What are your guys's, what are you doing on a track like this? So yeah, interesting, original and difficult, but not that kind of difficulty where it's like, oh man, I want to keep playing it because I want to learn it. It's that difficulty where it's like, screw this track, I don't want to play it anymore. That's the kind of difficulty that I feel like it's got going on for it right now. But I like it. I like the interesting, oh, maybe you can a little bit. I don't know, I mean, we clipped, but it looks like maybe you can hop over and get something different going on here. Oh my god, we did the same thing. It's just like enough to where I can't quite get all the way over it. Interesting. Yeah, if someone else plays this, please let us know in the comments if you were able to, what your best lap time is here. I'm curious because the best lap time I'm getting is that one right there, that 309. It ain't getting better than that. I can assure you, it'll never get better than that because I don't have the motivation to try and go back and get under 3 minutes. I'm 100% sure that maybe the guy that made it or someone that's just really good at the game could probably get under 3 minutes here, but that's not me. It's not me, and I don't have the desire. It has that level of difficulty, like I already said, that it makes me like, yeah, I'm done with this track. I'm done. Let's move on. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Can we? Oh man, I wanted to try and hop off over the finish line. So we're gonna give it. Yeah, I think we're gonna give this track 3 stars. Let's give it 3 stars. It could have been more, but I didn't want to give it more because it definitely had. It was an original idea, for sure, an original idea, and it was difficult. It just wasn't the difficult that I like, where I feel like there's something better. I kind of feel like there really wasn't much better, and that's just kind of how he intended you to go around the track. It was supposed to be torture. So 3 stars, interesting track. I encourage you to go check it out and see what you think of it. See what your best lap time is and your best lines around a very impossible track like that are. So let's move on to our last one, which I think will probably be another suggestion from you guys. Okay, so here we have our third and final track of the day, all we will have time for. This is called For Wyndham LOL, suggested by Whiskey Gamer, I believe. Something like that, Whiskey Gamer. And the track's really good. I actually rode like most of a lap, or most of 2 laps actually, because I record in a really weird way sometimes, and my recording stuff wasn't really working the way I wanted it to, so I had to restart it, and that's why we already kind of know the track. And it's a really good track. It's like, it doesn't have anything extremely original on it, but again, that doesn't make a track good or bad necessarily. It's just something that I kind of look at, because finding something really original in a track design is always like, it's like finding a little piece of treasure. It's really cool to see those cool ideas come to life with a track editor that somewhat feels limited sometimes, you know what I mean? So to see the originality and being able to come up with ideas nobody else has done when there's over 3,000 tracks is a cool idea. Now this is interesting because I think you roll that and then double. but it looks like you could actually jump off that hip. It's just kind of a weird angle, but it looks like it could work. And then like here, this little triple, it's what makes this track interesting to me, the most interesting to me is, well, one, it's got realistic lap times. It's more of a realistic layout. The track is good. The flow is there, and the stadium was well chosen. You know, it's not too big or too small of a stadium. Everything's really, really good. There's just no criticizing really to be put towards it. And this is a series that's based more off of criticism because, you know, seeing custom tracks in motocross games and showcasing and stuff like that is nothing new. It's been around for a long time. So I decided, you know, let's look at this from a different angle. And oh yeah, there's that triple single, and try to find the bad tracks, you know, some of the really bad tracks. But since we're doing so many of your guys' suggestions, you know, a lot of these tracks are really good to begin with, so there's not a lot of complaints to put on them because they're mostly good, which is why I always like trying to find one or two random ones in the videos, because I think that's where we're gonna find the really bad tracks. And it's not like we're trying to pick on, oh yeah, there it is, check it out, I knew you could do that, I freaking knew you could do that. So interesting line there. That's kind of original. I like it because it's difficult. It's like that line if I'm racing multiplayer. There's no way I'm hitting that line every single time. Absolutely no way. Absolutely no way we're hitting that line every single time. And this one's actually kind of tough. To hit this is kind of tough sometimes. And I think I'm using the... get back on the track, man. I think I'm using the... not the medium. The low gear ratio transmission. I think that's what I'm using. Because this track kind of feels like it demands it a little bit. It's slower speeds. I mean, you need throttle control, and I think it's kind of fun to have to use some throttle control in a game like this, where you're not just sending every single thing. You know, like here, you could triple single, but you can also do the double double, and the double double is definitely more consistent for a player like myself that's not very good at the game. So I really do like. I mean, it works out to where we're just. Actually, there we kind of easily got over it. Oh, check out that landing on those tough blocks. Oh my gosh. But what makes this track difficult to me, and where I think it does it in a different way, is the fact, can we hit this? Oh, we can't hit it. Is because the difficult sections are they're not long, drawn out rhythm lanes where you just can't find the timing. Like that little triple. It's not hard, but the way we're coming out of the corner and stuff, it's like you're just getting over it just about right. And like if you rolled that hip in that corner and tried to double out, that's a difficult line to hit. I don't even know if I can do that. We might try this lap. So I think where this track excels is that, yes, it is difficult, but it's difficult in like its own unique way, kind of. It's like difficult in a slower, more controlled way, instead of that chaos of just trying to carry tons of speed into this rhythm section and hit every single big line, you know what I mean? So I think that's why this track, that's like its main selling point here for this specific track, but really well done. I mean, I don't know what to say, but I think I was saying something about, someone mentioned, they're like, why don't you just focus on the good things about the track instead of the bad things? Well, I think we do strongly focus on the good things and the good parts of the track. But with custom tracks, it's something that's been around in motocross gaming and will be around forever. And it's not like, can we do this? You can kinda. But it's been done so much, it's like, doesn't it get boring, you know, saying, you know, just, here's a custom track, oh, this tree looks amazing, this is just amazing, the setting is fantastic, everything is done really perfect. It's like, you know what, we already know how it's gonna be, and I get tired of listening to the same thing over and over again, so let's do it a little bit different. Let's look at it from a different angle. And that's what I wanted to do with this, and that's why, specifically, that's why I like choosing one random track, because we already know that a lot of the tracks you guys suggest, you probably are pretty proud of, and so it's probably going to be a pretty good track. And so it doesn't really fit the description of this series of Does Your Track Suck, when a lot of the tracks you guys suggest are really good. Like, this track is really good. It's not going to suck. We already know. I mean, you can probably already guess what kind of a star rating it's going to get, because we've seen tracks similar to this, where they're just really good. There's nothing to really say. But I like focusing on the good things mostly, but as well as the bad things, because I think that highlighting a lot of the bad things is interesting, and that's just my opinion. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean that not everybody's gonna like it. And like we always say, what matters most is that you enjoy the track. If you enjoy the track, then it really doesn't make any difference whether I like it or not, you know what I mean? So there you go. That is 5 laps. 107. Wow, we got that all the way down to 107.5. Good job, dude. I really enjoyed the track. I think it was that hip jump triple. And the name, of course, the name, I thought was very original. Good stadium choice, good flow, good lines, just good everything. I think it was a really well done track with realistic lap times. I think people should definitely check it out. I think it's really cool if you guys were to check it out to see what your lap times are. How much faster are you than me? I turned a 107. Beat me. Beat my lap time. I know you can't. Okay, I'm not gloating. I know I'm not good at the game, but beat my lap time and tell me how much you beat my lap time by. But you guys and girls, oh no, we didn't give it a rating. Holy cow, I was gonna end the video before we finish the rating. So we're gonna give this half a star. Half a star, really good job. I mean, the highlights for this track, I think, it was difficult in its own way of being a slower pace and having some throttle control. And it had a couple original sections. I felt like the triple hip out of that corner was kind of original, and the name, of course. So that's why it gets half a star. You did a really good job, dude. Would love to play some more tracks from you. Definitely keep making tracks. But like I was trying to say earlier, before we finish your rating, I was so terrible of me. You guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the support on this series so far. And remember, if you want to keep seeing this, leave a like and let me know your track. Leave your track in the comments and make sure your track works when you search for it, because I've been looking for tons and tons of tracks, guys. Tons of tracks. Almost all your suggestions I've checked out, and they don't bring anything up. They bring up that it finds it, but I can't click on it. So I'm not ignoring your track, it's just not working. So have a buddy or somebody search for it and make sure it comes up before you put it in the comments, and then we know that it works, and I'll, be able to get it into a video. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing, like I said, and until the next video, take it easy.